So, Mr. Baker, you becoming so successful has a lot of people wondering how you did it. It's really not that difficult. You just need to think of your life as a play and act out 6 different roles. You want to be the director, the techie, the audience member, the usher, the leading man, and what I think is most important, you definitely got to focus on being the writer. Why those 6? What in particular does playing those roles do for your life? I think it's kind of obvious what each of these mean. Like in the case of the director, he's the one who's in charge of the play. He oversees it, just like you need to be in your life. You can't let life take charge of you. You need to take it, and you need to mold it into what you want it to be, exactly what the director does with a play. Great, but what about the leading man specifically? He sounds crucial and like he could have a lot to offer for your life. That's true. The leading man is the go-getter. He's the one that takes credit for all the stuff that goes on stage. And so, what I mean by that is that you need to be a go-getter too. You gotta follow your dreams and you gotta make sure that you achieve your goals, because without that, how can you be the star of your own life? That's also very true, but what about the techie and the audience member? They seem just meaningless in somebody's life. I mean, if you think about it, audience members, they just show up and pay money to watch other people do all the work. And a techie, he's just up there, he doesn't get credit for anything. How could they have anything to offer for you? Exactly. You got exactly what it means to be the audience member. You want people to pay to come see you. You want people to be inspired by you and your work. And as long as you got the roles of the director and the leading man down, people should be lining up to see your success and to see your fame and your rise to wealth. You're failing to mention, though, is the importance of the techie. How could somebody who just sits up way high so that nobody can even see him, control the lights and do the sound, and get literally no credit for anything, how could they have any importance to your life? Well, for one, I like to think of the techie as the detail guy. He's the one that makes sure that the sound is perfect, that the acoustics of the room work well with the microphones that they could be using, and if not, making sure that everybody speaks at the right register so that everything can form together perfectly to create that masterpiece. In terms of the lighting, I like to think of that as the details. If you want to be successful and you want people to actually show up to your play and your life, then you need to make sure that the lighting's right. You got to get your details down so that people can see that as an example and once again use that as inspiration. I kind of see what you're saying. So nobody's going to want to show up to a play without lights, as nobody's going to watch somebody who can't stay organized and pay attention to the details as inspiration and as motivation for their own life. But how does that tie into the usher at all? How could somebody who just invites people in and sells them their tickets have any importance to do with the actual life and the actual details in the organization? Well, what the usher is for is that's basically talking about what your personality needs to be like. You need to be warm, friendly, and very open to the public, or else nobody's going to want to sit around and talk with you. Nobody's going to want to be with somebody who's mean and who's rude. So, as ushers, their main job is to make sure that people keep coming into the building. But if the usher's rude, people aren't likely to come back. I believe that takes us to your last thing, the writer. Is there any particular reason why you wanted to save this one for last? Yeah, actually I have 2 reasons for that. The first one being that the writer is the most important character of all. He created the play, he molded it, just like how you need to create your life and you need to mold your own life. If you don't take full control, how can you expect other people to come and to watch your show and to be impressed by it? And if you don't take full control, how do you expect to get the full benefits and everything that you've ever wanted from your life? You just simply need to take control. Also, the writer, without him, there wouldn't be any of the other roles. He connects all of them. Without the writer, the director wouldn't be directing, the actor wouldn't be acting, and the usher wouldn't have a job of bringing people in. But most of all, you just need to make sure that you get all of these 6 roles down, because each one, although they're not as important as the others, but when you get all of them down perfectly, you can just be as successful as I am one day. Thank you very much for coming in today, Tyler. I'm sure that we'll see you on CNN some other time with all the great things that you're doing for the city of Saginaw. This is Ron Burgundy. Stay classy, Saginaw.